Hello, and welcome to Connect the Work. I'm Rylee Robles, and this is our fourth benchmark today. Today's benchmark is Career Connected Learning Engages Community Partners. So, we have some amazing guests with us today, and I'm really excited for these interviews. So, let's get started. Hi, Miss Pilar. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
How's your
Excited to
day
talk
been?
about this. Good. It's actually been really good.
Awesome. I love your bright pink.
Thank
We were
you.
talking about that earlier, but I love
Again,
it.
first pink thing I've ever owned, so I'm
I
excited.
love it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So, I wanted to talk to you about our fourth benchmark, which is community partners and how students can engage with them in career connected learning. So, my first question is what types of community partnerships have you seen been the most beneficial? You could be as specific or as broad as you'd like, but in your experience, what have you seen?
Yeah, definitely. So I think when we are talking about really the business and community partnerships, it's really about understanding that there is already a plethora or just wealth of partners within just the family aspect
Mm,
within schools. So something that I've seen in one of our career connected schools is really the school reaching out to the parents
mm,
and asking them, do any of you have businesses and or your companies or your jobs? So really starting small, right?
mm,
Not thinking of I need to get a business involved, therefore I need to go and reach out to stores that might
mm,
not be attainable. It's really starting within the community. I think that's the
mhm.
word community comes in,
Yeah.
right? Understanding that there is already wealth within students' families. So again, going back to one of our career connected schools, they put out Google Forms, right?
Mm,
Asking teachers to ask parents and or family members, would you like for us to host you? Would you like to come and talk about your company or your job? So I think some of the best practices I've seen is that it's making that connection because not only is this going to be a reflection of the students in their community, but again, it is a reflection of invested adults.
mm,
Adults who are going to come to the schools and be excited because their niece, nephew, daughter, son, whoever is already in the school participating. Something also that I've seen just work very well is local communities,
mhm,
places that the students see every day on the way to and from school, places that bring a sense of home and community to them. So, in that sense, obviously, career connected school, right? We
mhm,
have really focused on the K6, K8 grades.
mhm,
But when it comes to middle school and then high school, really being able to build that bridge between in school learning and then work based learning, right?
mm,
Bringing in
mhm,
those companies, those organizations, that small shop to be able to host apprenticeships, to be able to host one day behind, come in the life of a baker, right? Or
mm,
of a
mhm.
salesperson, et cetera, a barber, whatever it is, with that sense. So going back to your question, I know I went different
No, that was
routes. It's
perfect.
really leaning on the community, not
Mm,
necessarily just the individual, but the physical buildings and
mm,
structures around that surround the school itself.
mhm.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Well, before we go on to our next questions, do you want to introduce yourself? Maybe
Yes,
your
of
job title,
course.
what you do, maybe a fun fact about you, what you're interested in. Go
Yes.
ahead.
So my name is Pilar Comparan. I am a project manager here at Orange County Department of Education through Career Education Unit. So we actually oversee the Career Connected Schools initiative and movement.
Awesome.
We love to call it a movement.
Mm,
So my role is really to support the districts and school sites who have been implementing career connected schools during pilot year one and really go out and see the amazing work that the coaches have been doing in the school sites. I am not going to lie, this is my favorite initiative next to all the student ambassador work I get to do. Something fun about me is I've had a very non-traditional education
mm,
road that has gotten me here. So, right, we're talking about
mm,
career conversations, career
mhm,
exploration. And I think something that I always say is people who work at the county or the Department of Education, we really stumble our way here, right? I don't think there's any
mm,
little kid that's like, I'm going to work for the county office and this unit. I
mm,
feel like through exploring education as a system,
mhm,
for the most part, we realize we want to be part of the solutions.
mm,
So I have an extensive background in STEM curriculum development through science centers. I worked in a nonprofit doing efficacy research.
Mm.
And most recently, I work at Santa Ana College also as a part-time faculty teaching first-generation parents about the education system in the
Oh,
U.S. so that I could
amazing.
really help first-generation students understand that there's options for
Mm.
them, right? That it's not just one road that leads to success
Mhm.
and whatever that means to them.
Yeah.
I always say if I could go back and do K-12 and get the support that I needed, I would have probably gone into aerospace engineering.
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like STEM has always been something that I've loved. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go and do a whole, bachelor's and master's in
Mm.
any STEM. So what I do is I'm actually a volunteer for NASA and JPL. I'm part of the
Oh
Solar
my
System
goodness.
Ambassador Program.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I get to learn about all the amazing space exploration programs and then share that information with my communities. So
That's
I do
awesome.
love and enjoy doing that with students.
That's amazing. I love talking to you about like space and whenever we talk about because I know we went to one event and we got to actually meet an astronaut.
Yes.
I could see how
That's
passionate you
amazing.
were about it and
Yes.
that just made me excited about it because seeing someone
Yes.
else who's passionate about
Yeah.
something just makes everyone else want to be
Yeah.
interested in it. And so I
Yeah.
just wanted to let you know I
Make sure
always
you
love that.
insert the picture here, the selfie,
Yes.
because that was
We have a
amazing.
selfie, so
Yes.
I'll
Please, it
put
was an
that in
amazing
here.
event.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
remember we were fangirlies,
No, yes.
definitely. So
We
it was
walked all the
awesome.
way to the front
Yeah.
and found the closest table.
Yes.
It was so
Okay,
much
yeah, that
fun.
was awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That is really cool. Thank you for sharing
Of
that.
course.
So if you don't mind, I think we'll move on to
Yeah.
our next
Yeah.
question. How do you see having access to community partners and business partners? How can we make that equitable to all students?
Again, I think it really goes into so for me, right, having equitable access to anything, it's not something that the student directly has an impact. And
Mm.
let me kind of give you a little bit of
Hmm.
a foundation for that. Whenever I'm working with students in whatever initiative it might be, is students need to know their highest potential. That's
Hmm.
why I love RIASEC because it's all about your strengths, your values, your interests, and then really leaning on the adults to be able to address those barriers that are on the way of them
Hmm.
achieving their highest potential. So when it comes to partners, I believe all of our school sites and districts that are currently participating in career connected schools have amazing leadership at either the school or district site that are able to make those connections, not just for the students, but even teachers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when it comes to having equitable access to businesses, equitable access to community, I feel that it really is a community effort.
Hmm.
Again, having those individuals in the schools going out of their way because this if you really think about all of this, even although the 5 benchmarks are super simple, this goes above and beyond of what teachers and counselors and
Hmm.
administrators sign up for, right? This is
Hmm.
actually doing a lot of collaboration. It really leans a lot into the community schools model, which is everyone surrounding a physical brick and mortar school
Hmm.
has an impact on these students learning. So with this initiative itself, right? Just having RIASEC also, whenever I do presentations, I love tapping into the social justice and equity that comes with,
Hmm.
again, RIASEC. A lot of our students, they really understand value, self value based on things like GPA, right? Or what classes they're taking. What I love about RIASEC is that everyone is able to identify their strength, therefore, they see their own worth
Hmm.
when it comes to society.
Yeah.
So within just the tool itself, it's already addressing equity, right? Making
Hmm.
sure that, again, all students are seen as they're bringing something to the table, that they're
Yeah.
unique in some way, and that they are a piece of the bigger puzzle, which is society. And then when you include community partnerships, again, not only on the lens of the school itself, but you are also bringing that opportunity to so many businesses
Yeah.
because a lot of those businesses are not your ordinary or traditional careers,
Yeah.
right? They're not your local, like it's not always the doctors and the
Hmm.
lawyers and the astronauts. It's
Hmm.
your local baker. Again, it's your local tax office owner. It's your
Hmm.
local barber. It's again giving that opportunity for all careers to be able to have a sense of presence in the eyes of these students that eventually will follow different
Yeah.
career paths.
Yeah.
So I think just, if I'm fixating on the word equity, I think it really works in
Mhm.
both ways. And it is also part of everyone coming together to be able to address that.
Yeah, thank you. And I
Yes,
think
of
that
course.
goes perfectly into our next question, which is how do you encourage, because students gain a lot from these experiences, like amazing, amazing things. How do you encourage businesses and companies and community members to engage with the students? And what do you tell them that they will gain? Because it's also equally important for them because they will gain a lot of experience learning from the students. So what is your perspective on
Yeah,
that?
so just to give you a little bit of context, again, pilot year one, right? We did a narrative report in the first quarter, meaning we asked all of our career connected schools, hey, tell us what you've been doing in each of the 5 benchmarks.
Mm.
To no surprise, benchmark number 4 was at 0%, meaning
Wow.
nobody had reported that they were doing anything with community partners. Just because I
Interesting.
do believe that, they're doing things as introducing the RIASEC and maybe bringing parents, but I know this is probably the biggest one of the benchmarks to tackle, especially
Yeah.
in quarter one.
Mhm.
So what me and my counterpart did is we brainstormed and we're like, okay, let's be the matchmakers. Let's
Mhm.
make it a little easier for them. So what we did is we hosted an event at the Discovery Cube
Mhm.
and we actually invited community partners that we already know are doing the work that matches the 5 benchmarks that understand
Mm.
RIASEC.
Mhm.
So we had an event. We gave all of our career connected school representatives the opportunity to make connections themselves of
Mm.
look, again, it doesn't have to be that high shelf reaching partnership. It could be
Yeah.
an everyday thing. So for instance, when we had it at the Discovery Cube, is this itself is a partnership. It
Yeah.
is technically, right? The cube is seen as a hub for learning and
Yeah.
innovation within Orange County. You could bring your students. I don't know if you've been there, but it has really just evolved into this amazing world of different careers, right? You have the science
Mhm.
of hockey, you have the science of aerospace, you have the science of, um, paleontology. So all of they have a supermarket in there. So all
That
these
was my
things,
favorite.
yeah.
I always remembered that.
You get to go shop and learn about eco-friendly products and nutrition stuff.
Yeah.
But again, we gave our attendees the opportunity to see every time you bring your students here and or if you go into one of their assemblies, etc., that is already making a career connection.
Mm. Mhm.
And again, then in that situation is the business itself sees that as this is a potential way for students to again understand learning through a non-traditional way.
Mm.
Now, when
Mhm.
we talk to bigger businesses, like let's say the Boys and Girls Club and or an actual Edward Life Sciences, something that, again, is able to be eventually a career that students follow, is that it's exactly that giving them the in to the workforce pipeline,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Of
Yeah.
again, putting experiences in front of students of this could be you. Because reality is, students could only identify jobs that they would like to do when exposed to them, right? You are
Mm.
never going to say, I want to be a XYZ, and if you've never heard of
Yeah.
that itself. So again, giving the businesses the opportunity to say, hey, this is your future workforce,
Mhm.
be available for them
Yeah.
to see this as a potential career. So we are still in the midst of kind of trying to get more of those business partners. I know here through career education, we have an amazing apprenticeship program that, many people
Mhm.
that, are a part of. And that is the goal, right? For this continuum of K6, K8, RIASEC, learning your strength values to eventually go into middle school as you start doing career exploration and in high school be able to really be embedded into those opportunities. So if we see that businesses have the buy-in since they're starting to see younger kids be engaged in the RIASEC in career connected schools, then by the time these high schoolers are reaching an age where they could hold an apprenticeship, these businesses themselves will feel like we've invested time
Mhm.
in again preparing students to at least think of us as a potential career. Right.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it's all about building a sense of community and understanding that there is so much knowledge and so much talent within our students in Orange County. And I mean, Orange County is one of the biggest, counties when it comes to employment. Just if we're really looking at industries and, um, hiring trends, right? The last thing we want is for people to do brain drain, which is I take all of my talents somewhere else. We want to make sure that we grow our own, and it comes in all industries from education to computer science to medical to whatever it is that we're doing. So I think this initiative, sorry, I'm going everywhere, but this
No, it's
initiative
awesome.
really does do that, which is start young, right? Like again, giving students the opportunity to really see all of the amazing and potential careers within Orange County.
Yeah.
And this is a great opportunity. I'm looking look at the camera. Great opportunity if you're a business and you would love to host apprentice or like even just kind of partner with your local career connected school. This is an amazing, amazing program for you to be a part of. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you really want to bring up, or anything that we didn't cover yet?
No, I think thank you. Your questions were very to the point, and they allowed me to obviously speak on other parts of the initiative, the movement that I just really am passionate about. I think one of the big things is just again understanding that it is a community effort. It really is. Because preparing students for career is not just about again telling them, "Hey, this exists, is this something you might want to explore?" It's about really leaning into their strengths and their talents, and all of that is embedded and or fertilized when it's about all safe self-identity when they're younger, right? Of course, we could do this in middle school. Intervention could be at any stage of the K-12, K-16 continuum, but it's really about community seeing strengths in every child. I know later you're going to have one of our students do the RISEC themselves. I just really want to make sure that people understand that this is not something that just happens at school.
Yeah.
It's something that happens at school. It continues at home. And then imagine if your entire community just has this common vocabulary, right? Imagine if you're going out to the store and you see, a RISEC letter and you're immediately able to identify with that, and or you're having conversations with someone as you're waiting for your food to come. And then it's about those conversations because students really learn when they're being seen.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. All I wanted to share now.
Thank
But
you.
yes, exciting work that we're doing,
Yes.
including yourself. Yes.
Oh,
thank
thank
you for
you.
doing.
But I admire all the work that you do.
Yeah.
It's really exciting when I get to learn all about the behind the scenes. The impact that you guys are making is really, really incredible. So thank you.
Thank you for being our RISEC ambassador. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope
course.
you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to a few more people today. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be really fun. But
All
thank
right,
you so much,
thanks.
Ms. Pilar.
Okay.
For our next guest, Miss Rios, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have the questions on screen as well as her answers, and then I'm going to read them aloud to you. So let's see how this goes. I'm actually really excited about it. First of all, thank you, Miss Rios, for answering these questions. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at Big Brothers Big Sisters? My name is Brianna Rios, and I'm a Senior Regional Director of Programs with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Orange County and the Inland Empire. I've been with the organization for almost 12 years, and during that time, I've had the opportunity to grow within a variety of roles that have deepened my commitment to youth leadership. In my current role, I oversee the strategic direction and impact of several programs we offer. Our programs support youth starting at young as age 6 and continue through adolescence into adulthood. What's most exciting is seeing how mentorship can truly transform lives, helping young people build confidence, set goals, and unlock their potential. It's an honor to be a part of their journey and to work alongside so many dedicated mentors and partners who make this mission possible. Thank you. My second question is, what drew you to work with young people and specifically at Big Brothers Big Sisters? I was drawn to work for Big Brothers Big Sisters because I truly believe in the life-changing power of mentorship. When someone shows up for you, believes in you, advocates for you, holds you accountable, and reminds you of your potential, it can alter the entire course of your life. That belief isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. I've had incredible mentors throughout my journey who often saw something in me before I saw it in myself. Their support, encouragement, and honest guidance helped shape who I am today. I'm living proof of what mentorship can do, and it's why I'm so passionate about creating those same opportunities for the young people we serve every day. Can you share some specific examples of how the Big Brothers Big Sisters connect with students and their local community? Big Brothers Big Sisters connects with students and communities through a variety of thoughtfully designed programs, each tailored to meet young people where they are and support them in meaningful, age-appropriate ways. One of our signature initiatives is High School Bigs, a school-based mentoring model that pairs high school students with elementary school youth. This mentorship model fosters leadership and empathy in teen mentors while also providing younger students with consistent support and positive role models within their own school communities. Our workplace mentoring program takes mentorship a step further by connecting college students to the workforce. In partnership with local companies, students are matched with professionals who guide them through career exploration, goal setting, and essential workplace skills. This model not only helps prepare students for their future, but also builds valuable confidence and real-world connections. In addition, Sports Buddies is another unique program that brings youth and mentors together through the power of play. By engaging in physical activities from basketball and hiking to yoga and team games, mentors and mentees build trust, resilience, and strong lasting bonds in a fun and supportive environment. And of course, our traditional community-based mentoring program continues to be a cornerstone of our work. This model gives mentors and mentees the flexibility to spend quality time together in the community, whether it's sharing a meal, visiting a museum, or simply talking about life. These one-to-one relationships are built over time and have a profound impact on both the big and the little. Each of these programs is rooted in the belief that all young people have incredible potential and that with the right guidance and encouragement, they can achieve extraordinary things. Thank you so much. I have 2 more quick questions. How do you help students discover career paths and have career conversations? At Big Brothers Big Sisters, we believe that mentorship is not just about support. It's about opening doors. Through our programs, especially workplace mentoring, we create opportunities for students to explore career paths and engage in meaningful conversations about their future. The workplace mentoring program is designed specifically to support college students as they prepare to enter the workforce. We recognize that the transition from college to career can be overwhelming, and this program bridges that gap by offering students direct access to mentors working in professional settings across a variety of industries. One of the most impactful aspects of the program includes hands-on support from the mentor with resume development, LinkedIn profile optimization, and interview preparation. Mentors provide tailored feedback and real-world tips that reflect current hiring practices, something students often don't get in a traditional classroom setting. These career conversations go beyond the basics. They help students build confidence, develop professional communication skills, and begin to understand what it takes to stand out in a competitive job market. The result is a more prepared, informed, and empowered young adult, ready to take their next step with clarity and purpose. In addition to serving college students, Big Brothers Big Sisters is currently exploring ways to bring early career exploration tools into the lives of younger youth. Through a new partnership with Educators Cooperative, we are piloting the introduction of the RYSEC framework, an interest-based career assessment, into our high school BIGS curriculum. This initiative will empower high school mentors to explore their own career interests while also sparking curiosity in their elementary school mentees. By weaving RYSEC into their weekly sessions, we're equipping both age groups with the language and tools to better understand themselves and imagine their future paths. Thank you so much. I have one last question. What has been the most impactful moment for you as a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters? Over the past 12 years with Big Brothers Big Sisters, I've witnessed countless moments that have deeply impacted me, both through the life-changing relationships we help create and through the incredible mentors I've had the privilege to learn from within the organization. One story that has always stayed with me is of a child I enrolled in our program early in my career.
A decade later, I watched them graduate high school and head to college, full of confidence and purpose, all thanks to the consistent support of their mentor. It was a powerful reminder that simply showing up can unlock incredible potential in both the mentee and the mentor.
Thank you so much, Miss Rios and Miss Pilar, for joining us on this episode. I hope we've made career conversations a little more normal today. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye!